Welcome to the Online Success Journey Podcast, your opportunity to discover and learn from entrepreneurs like yourself. This is not your typical podcast, but a place where you can get the real story and find out how real people encounter speed bumps and detours, but journey through to find success. Now here's your host for the Online Success Journey Podcast, Patience.
Hello everyone and welcome to Online Success Journey. This is episode 268. Today we have Arjun Rai, an entrepreneur who is on a mission to support small businesses with the power of visualized data science and artificial intelligence for digital marketing. He is a firm believer that every SMB should have an unfair advantage to compete against unlimited marketing budgets. Hello Arjun.
Hey, how are you? Thank you so much for the opportunity to be on your show.
I'm fine, thank you, and thank you for coming. I know the client, he is anxious to hear your story, so let's get started with the basics. Can you tell my client a little bit about your background and what you did before you started your own social media business now?
Yeah, so I've been an entrepreneur since, as far as I can remember. Been selling something or the other since I was a single digit, years of age. I think the earliest memories I remember is 7 or 9, and selling something or the other that I had made in arts and crafts, and trying to see if anyone would buy it. But I think my first real efforts into the tech and startup phase was in high school when I was working on the advertising side of things. I learned that communications was my my passion through the radio club, and then one thing led to the other. Came to New York, launched an agency that focused on social media marketing. This was back in 2011, 2012, 2013. And quickly learned that social media was becoming a very hot topic back then, especially for growing your presence online. This a couple of years later, or actually 1 or 2 years later, the whole idea of influencer marketing was coming out as well. So very early on in the era of social media marketing and management. Then that led me to building another startup that we raised about $1 million for in US dollars to essentially build a creative, collaborative, limitless canvas, which think of it like mural.co, which is today, or monday.com. Very visual. You could drag and drop people, projects, and files. We've quickly figured out that we were way too early for our own good. We were betting that touchscreens would become bigger, touch projectors would become more accessible. Only one of those was true, but we quickly learned that you have to have enough cash in the bank in order to actually make sure that the dream and the vision can come to fruition. And then following that, learned to go back kind of to my roots, which was social media marketing, and launch Woofy, which is hellowoofy.com. And we pivoted a little bit. We were trying to build a very simple product for influencers who were on the go to control their social media marketing, all of it from their mobile devices. We very quickly figured out that people wanted desktops. They wanted a bigger screen size to be able to control their content and schedule. And soon we added in artificial intelligence and a lot of data science capabilities for the price of a cup of coffee. So all in, today, we have nearly 7,000 small businesses all over the world who use our platform. We've only been around for 11 months, and we've grown nearly 22,000% in under a year, actually. And it's good to be venture backed, but I've put in also about 170K, mostly on credit cards, into the company, so we could get to where we are. And thank God, and thank our team, our supporters, our investors, that we've been able to achieve so much in a very short period of time.
Well, what a background, Arjun. Wow, that is a big journey. So what is the most dangerous belief an entrepreneur can have?
I think the whole idea of fake it till you make it can be dangerous at sometimes. I think it's important to keep in mind that if you're faking it till you're making it, you might have some repercussions that might be unrealized at the moment, but sooner or later can definitely derail you. So you want to take risks, but you want to take measured risk. You want to make sure that if you're going all in, that if you end up losing or if you end up not doing so well, that it's not going to throw you off course for the rest of your life. You want to make sure that you're taking measured risks, that you truly believe in the vision and the product or the company you're building. And yes, you can fake it till you make it, but don't fake it so much that that it feels like you're actually not even in any sort of reality. You always want to live the vision you have for yourself, down the road, maybe a couple of years later, and almost pretend that you have achieved that, but don't be like you're going to achieve something that's like 50 years ahead and you have no idea of how to get there, and you burn resources and amazing talent on something that will never come to fruition, and at least in a reasonable pace at a reasonable timeline.
You mentioned that you want to help smaller companies and the social influencers, but why do you do what you do?
Because I know what it's like to be a small business entrepreneur, small business owner, and the thing that we always find is that small businesses are the ones that are ignored almost 100% of the time, because a lot of the companies that are out there, they want to focus on the big enterprises. They want to focus on the medium companies, make more money. And especially with COVID, this is, we're talking in November now, a lot of the small businesses that we went after, they need our help more than ever. In fact, a lot of businesses have been added to our demographic, our target market, because guess what? A lot of people have been furloughed, have been laid off, and what are they doing? They're launching consulting businesses. They're launching podcasts. They're launching coaching businesses. They're looking to do whatever they can to continue putting food on the table. And we're right there for $4 or $5 a month. We are giving them literally the ability of any of our competitors, for the price of a cup of coffee, but also with the data science and the artificial intelligence that is basically enterprise grade for, again, the price of a cup of coffee. And now, not only do we help small businesses with social media management, we also help them with automating their blogs and automatically creating content for their blogs. We're helping small businesses with typing content in the browser on any website. So if you're typing a Facebook post or typing an entire blog post on your own blog, the Google Chrome extension works anywhere on the internet and gives you the right emojis, the right words in real time based on hundreds of millions of conversations. And then we're about to launch something which is very, very unique, working with Amazon Alexa, which is the world's first Alexa scheduler. So literally, if you have a customer or you have a following that has Alexa devices, you can schedule content to appear and be distributed directly to those speakers, even the TVs that your customers are watching. So long as they opt in, you'll be able to be on their TV with audio, video, and call to action as well, which will open up a browser in their environment, in their living room. And it's a very different, very interesting way of being able to reach your customers that are quarantined at home. So again, we're kind of building a new business every 30 days, but the idea is to help small businesses have an unfair advantage, like you said in the intro, against those with unlimited marketing budgets and resources that are constantly crushing small businesses. Well, that stops today with Hello Woofy.
Wow. This Hello Woofy, do you place an ad on it? Is it like Facebook? Is it like Twitter? What is it? People are going to be confused. It's my first time actually to hear about it.
Yeah, no, it basically automates all of your organic Facebook posting, Twitter posting, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. We work with all the major social media networks. We're also now expanding to SMS marketing. So you can automate scheduling text messages to your customers, which have a crazy amount of open rate, 90+% open rate and conversions. Wow. We're also working, like I said, with the Amazon Alexa device, so you can schedule content into the homes of your customers so long as they're opting in. And blogging is another one. Automating not only the creation of the blog post, but scheduling the blog post and then following it up with a social media post to promote the scheduled blog post. So we're kind of tackling a lot of different facets of digital marketing, but again, all for the price of a cup of coffee for $4 or $5 a month. Which essentially the customer pays for the year, which is $49 a year, and prices are going up to $69 a year in January. The small business owner has full authority, full control over all of their online presence, and so that they can focus on the storytelling, they can focus on making money.
Let's put demand aside. How do you know you are successful?
Great question. I think the thing to keep in mind there is numbers is definitely a good way to measure that. Numbers is a good way to measure that, but also the satisfaction you see in the customers eyes when you're talking to them. The other thing is seeing the satisfaction in the eyes of your customers, even if they're prospective or they're already members of your platform. We know for a fact when I do one-on-one calls with our customers and we see what they're struggling with, which is not finding digital solutions that are helping their businesses go to the next level, and they don't have the resources, they don't even have companies at their doorstep that are even considering them good customer to go after, and I'm like, there's tens of millions of small businesses all over the world that would be willing to spend under $15 to have a digital marketing platform. And so we're right there. We're helping them. We're literally helping mom and pop stores. We're helping moms and pops at the same time. We're helping coaches, podcasters automate all of their sales funnels and all of their marketing efforts online. And I think that's a good way to see success. And of course, we have nearly 7,000 small businesses using our platform. We've had nearly 17 million API calls made on our platform as well. So the numbers kind of speak for themselves as well.
What have you learned from business as a whole?
That life is always unpredictable, and you have to be flexible enough to constantly move and reorient yourself, pivot, and go in a new direction. So with Woofy, like I said, we started as a mobile app originally. We've quickly figured out after thousands of downloads that that's not the thing that our small businesses influencers wanted. They want a bigger screen. They want more artificial intelligence. They want insights to make better decisions so that they can beat their unlimited marketing budget driven competitors. And so we had to pivot. We could have been very stubborn and said no, the mobile solution is the thing, but we listened to our customers. We pivoted. Today our product, even though it's several degrees cheaper than any of our competitors who are charging an arm and a leg to their customers, we're not only cheaper, but we're also 10 times, 100 times more capable and data driven. Whereas none of our competitors are truly artificial intelligence driven, and that is a result of pivoting. That is a result of being flexible enough to understand that the times are changing, the needs are changing, especially with COVID, and you have to keep on building a new company essentially every 3 weeks, and that's why we're working with Amazon to build out an Alexa device that you can schedule content to, because obviously customers are stuck at home. People are stuck at home in their living rooms consuming content. The entire speaker market has grown 82% last time I heard, and that is a very strong indicator of where the market's going. So we're right there. We're first to market with our scheduler for content. And so I think I've learned overall, you have to be flexible and you have to constantly be able to move with agility and velocity.
Tell us about the mentality and the spiritual aspects of building a startup.
Great question. I have a Buddha statue sitting right here 2 feet away from me. And as I do tend to be very, very spiritual for sure, I think the thing to keep in mind is meditating, having having a lot of motivational content around you, having a lot of vision, driven, success-driven content around you as well, is very important to keep you aligned to the goals and the vision you have set for yourself. I do believe in the law of attraction, which is something that Rhonda Byrne, the author of The Secret, talks about, but more importantly, Napoleon Hill talks about over 100 years ago in his book, Think and Grow Rich. And there's no hocus pocus. It's at the end of the day, it's all about mindset and whether you're going to keep moving forward and pushing no matter what happens, and realizing your dream, or against all odds, essentially. I mean, we're on our 50th cat life right now at Hello Woofy. There have definitely been moments where we were like, what is going to happen tomorrow or next week or next month? And we figured it out. And guess what? 4 years later, we're kicking and winning. And we have 7,000 very loyal customers on our platform. So it's good to see. It really is good to see.
Do you have mentors or coaches in your business?
We do. We have a lot of them are investors now. We believe that if you're investing in us, your time and effort, definitely put in the capital as well. And so a lot of them own shares now, and obviously we've tripled the company valuation in under a year. We have some very ambitious goals for expanding next year and the following couple of years as well. So definitely something that is something that I recommend having is a support group around you. People who are motivating you, pushing you. If they're motivating you and pushing you just for the sake of it, probably not helpful, because they're not going to critique you. They'll just be constantly just supporting you, but that's not really helpful if there's no critique. You want a good balance between the two.
What is the most valuable thing all your mentors or investors has told you?
On a personal note, I would say someone once told me, marry someone not in your field. Find a girl who's not in your field, because after you're done doing tech for 10, 15, 20 hours a day, you want to come home. Well, I guess now we're all stuck at home. So you want to go over to her side of the house and ask her, how was your day? What have you been doing in her industry and in her life, and learn a little bit, that different approach, different perspective. I think that's something that's super important. And this gentleman that I'm referring to, he's well over 75, 80 years old, and he's been very successfully married for, decades. So I will definitely take that advice to heart.
Wow. Thank you for sharing. What was the most challenging situations you faced, and how did you come out of the other end?
When we had $12,000 left in the bank and we basically had about 3 to 4 months of runway, I had to turn the company around for basically nothing and build a new product, build a new platform, dump the old code because it had major issues with it, find a new team, and continue putting food on the table. And so it was very interesting. This was back in 2018 when we had to do this, and we quickly figured out that you just got to keep going forward, keep that mindset, like I was telling you. And so I picked up another job, a second job. I was working on the company from 7 to 8 in the morning, 6 to 8 in the morning, going to work from 9 to 5, 9 to 6, and then as soon as I was back, from 7 to midnight, continue to work on Hello Woofy while building out the product, while building, working with the teams internationally and things of that nature. So it was definitely an interesting time period, I will say. I ended up racking up, like I said, $170,000 in savings and credit card debt and all of that to continue building the product. And a year later, we were able to launch. We grew 22,000% this year, or rather under a year. And I think it's one of those situations where you just have to keep going forward no matter what, and winning, at least in your mind, and it'll definitely convert itself into reality. In the middle of all this, I also had just lost my mom about a year ago.
Oh,
and so it's you just got to keep going. You got to keep going forward no matter what.
What is one thing no one knows about you?
People think I'm an extrovert, and my personality is an ENTJ-A, but I personally feel that I'm a fake extrovert, in that I've just figured out ways to, I've just figured out ways to build up a persona where I can close, I can negotiate, I can sell, but in some capacity, I'm definitely an introvert, or have been in from the very beginning. It's interesting.
What grounds you? I know you talked about faith, but what grounds you?
Gravity, for one thing. But what grounds me is just the vision that we have for the company and where we want to go, and constantly being able to build that, is important.
What one thing that has contributed to your success?
Just positive mindset. Just insane amounts of positivity to go, keep going forward and building the company, building the product, and things like that. So I will say mindset is super important, and if you have it, you don't have it, but it's important that you keep moving forward no matter what.
How important are emojis for small business to be successful in the market?
Very good question. I think if you take a look at Adobe trend report, which came out of obviously Adobe, you'll see that one of the things that they talk about is how important emojis are to driving double-digit uplifts in engagement and also purchase intent. And so we've taken that to a whole new level where we've been able to figure out, using data science and real data, not someone's opinion, that certain elements, certain emojis, certain hashtags, certain words combinations tend to do really well when it comes to driving uplift and engagement. But there's so many emojis that you literally have to figure that out on your own. But we want to make it easier. We want to make it a lot easier for small business to be able to do that. And so the platform that we built, does it programmatically, but it's smart marketing for small businesses on the front end, and they don't have to worry about any of it. We take care of all of that for them.
What is the most valuable thing you have ever given away?
Time is something you don't get back, for sure. And we're constantly talking to our customers every single day, multiple times a day at times. And that's one of the things that is most valuable, and business, people on the other side appreciate is when you're investing in them from a time perspective as well.
Let's talk about your business. Tell us more about it.
So one of the things that we figured out is that we could go in a lot of different directions, right? We're not just a social media scheduler. We're not just a blogging platform. We could literally be the next small business driven multi-billion dollar company that is supporting small businesses from all over the world. I think that mindset is unique because some of our closest competitors don't have a big vision, a big goal, or a big ambitions to grow big. And then we look at our biggest competitors, they've lost all of that. They've lost all of their ambition to grow and innovate and expand as fast as possible. And so it's interesting to see the dynamic between the two. And I think the mindset, even of the business, is super important.
And who can join this? I know you talked about that you are catering for small business. Who else can join this program of yours? And is it a monthly subscription or is it one fee?
Yeah, it's a great question. So it's a yearly fee for $49 a year. You can basically get all the capabilities that we talked about today and more. And we're just looking for feedback. We're just looking to figure out what else we can do for small businesses to be able to help them with digital marketing across the board. Now, as the times change, as COVID changes our approach to marketing, we'll be right there to support small businesses. So hellowoofy.com.
Thank you for sharing. So, Clan, there will be more from Arjun in a moment. If you are listening on one of the many podcasting platforms rather than my website and you are encouraged by Arjun's journey, go to onlinesuccessjourney.com for a portion bonus of the interview. The Online Success Journey is a wonderful membership community built for people searching for the path to success. We are one big clan and you can be part of this community for free. Once you have joined the clan, click on part 2 of Arjun's journey or over 250 plus other journeys that are available and learn how you can find the right path for your own online success journey. That's a wrap, clan. Remember, success is a journey. Patience and Arjun.
This is not the end of the journey. We hope you've enjoyed listening to part 1 and want to be sure you know there is a second part to this and every journey podcast at onlinesuccessjourney.com, filled with even more success tips, uplifting stories, and even a bit of fun. There are dozens of episodes only available to the members of the Online Success Journey clan. Check out the website and click on Join the Clan for more information. Patience would like to thank you for listening to this podcast, and she has a free audio gift for you at her website. Go to onlinesuccessjourney.com for instant access to this gift. Of course, you know that listening to the journeys of others helps each of us chart our own path. So make sure you're subscribed to be notified as each new interview is posted. There are so many ways to stay connected to the Online Success Journey and to listen in. And if you're enjoying the podcast, we appreciate your help in telling others. One of the best ways to share the benefit you get is to rate and review it at Stitcher and other sites by clicking the stars or completing the ratings form, by clicking thumbs up and leaving a comment on YouTube, or liking and sharing the podcast on social media. To review the podcast within iTunes, simply open iTunes to the podcast, click on Ratings and Reviews, then write a review. On behalf of Patience, and until next time, thanks once more for listening. It is our hope that this podcast will guide you on your own online success journey.